Once again, I welcome you back, my dear friends, dear students, to our last, you can say, topic of this chapter, resources and development. Today, I think, lastly, whatever videos we have made, I hope you like those videos. You are studying well at home, staying safe, staying back at home. Okay, stay healthy, and all our best wishes are with you. But keep on studying. Don't break your relations. Don't break up your pace with your studies. Keep studying, keep preparing notes, because these are going to help you when your school gets reopened. So let's get back to our topic once again, resources and development. And this is the last video of this topic. And today we are going to study about the conservation of resources. One by one, I'm going to take up all three topics, that is soil resources, water resources and land resources, and we are going to talk about how or what are the various ways that can be used for the conservation of such resources. So one by one, I'm going to take up these things. First of all, we are going to talk about the conservation of soil resources. Number one, when we are talking about the conservation of soil resources, we are talking about the very important part is, again and again I am telling, afforestation. I have already told you that afforestation is very vital instrument, is a very vital weapon in order to face, in order to get rid of this kind of soil erosion or soil pollution. Okay, afforestation means planting of more and more trees in your locality, in your areas, or increasing the area under the forest cover through afforestation, because the roots of the trees bind the soil particles together, hence preventing them from getting eroded easily. This is what is afforestation and how you can conserve the soil with the help of afforestation. So try to plant more and more trees, because trees, they produce the oxygen, which is the life supporting gas for us. So not only for conserving the soils, but also to maintaining our health, our life, it is very useful for us to plant more and more trees. The second thing is limited use of chemicals. If limited use of chemicals means whether in agricultural fields, whether in any other area, the use of chemicals should be minimum. Or if the chemicals are used also, it should be kept in mind that whatever types of chemicals we are using, they are easily treated and discharged in the environment, so that they do not pose any kind of threat to the soil fertility, to the soil community. So use of limited chemicals is very beneficial in order to conserve the soil. Okay, and the third one, if we talk about, is limited use of chemicals. In arid areas, it is very difficult for us to cultivate or to grow trees. Okay, there the process of afforestation is not possible. Okay, so in order to conserve the soil in the arid areas, means in the deserted areas, in order to conserve the soil from getting eroded, okay, we need to plant some shelter belts of thorny bushes. Okay, because some other plants or other normal plants, they cannot withhold the harsh and devastating condition of the desert environment. So we need to plant a shelter belt of thorny bushes, so that the soil in the semi-arid or arid areas can easily be protected from getting eroded. Proper treatment of waste and its disposal. Okay, whenever we are throwing the waste matter, either from our house, either from our factories, either from the hospitals, anywhere we are discharging the waste material, we have to keep this in mind that the waste which we are throwing away, it should be properly treated, okay, well treated, and it should be disposed in a very simple and a very convenient manner. Proper treatment of waste is very necessary because we need to categorize the segregation purpose. What is segregation? Segregation is the categorization of waste into various categories, and according to that category the waste is discharged and disposed of. So it is very important for us to properly treat the waste matter and then to dispose it off. Okay, these were some of the important points for conserving the soil, for conservation of the soil. Now the next thing which we are going to talk about is the conservation of water. Water conservation. Number one, proper treatment of wastewater from factories. Proper treatment of wastewater from the factories. As in the last video I have already told you that what is the purpose of water in the factories. Water in the factories is basically used as a coolant in order to cool down the machineries, and while cooling down the machineries the harmful toxic substances mix up with the fresh water, and without any proper treatment the factory owners or the factory management discharge the factory waste, the wastewater from the factories without any proper treatment, and that toxicated water, it easily slips off and moves off to the nearby freshwater bodies, and thereby declining or thereby decreasing the quality of the freshwater lakes. So in order to protect the water from getting polluted, the very first important step is to be taken is by the factories, by the management of the factories, that before discharging the toxicated water from their factories they need to treat it properly. Okay, after the proper treatment, after checking the level of toxications in the water, they should discharge this water to the nearby water bodies, because if the toxic substances are mixed up with these this water and then they are discharged to the nearby water bodies, then in that case it is going to pollute the normal or the fresh water, and not only the fresh water but also the aquatic life which is living in those water bodies, it will also be affected, it will also get threatened, and directly or indirectly we are also being threatened by such kind of substances. So not only we are harming the environment, we are harming ourselves also, because when this toxicated substances they will mix up with the fresh water bodies, and when the aquatic animals such as fishes they will consume this water, or when they are living in this water, the toxic level in their bodies, in the aquatic lives or the aquatic animals, it will increase, and when we are consuming those aquatic animals, then that toxicated substance is getting inside us also and indirectly affecting us also. So before discharging this effluent from the factories, the factory owners and the factory management needs to treat the water very properly. Avoid deforestation Avoid deforestation. Why? I have already told you that forests play a key role in maintaining the hydrological cycle. How they maintain the hydrological cycle, how they give their best efforts in order to maintain the hydrological cycle. And if these plants are deforested, means if these plants are cut down, then the hydrological cycle is being greatly affected. And if the hydrological cycle is affected, some or the other way, the water is being affected, and thereby leading to the water scarcity problem in our country. So in order to conserve the water resources, we need to avoid deforestation, and in place of this, we have to plant more and more trees so that the ecological balance of our ecosystem remains up to the mark, and we are able to give our best efforts in order to maintain the hydrological cycle. Okay. The third thing is proper use of irrigation techniques. Proper use of irrigation techniques. Irrigation techniques has been categorized into two parts: the traditional irrigation system or agriculture system, and the modern agriculture or irrigation system. In the traditional agricultural system, the borings, the tube wells were basically used for irrigating the fields. Through the canals, the water was drained out in order to irrigate the fields. But in nowadays, some important and some effective measures have been taken in order to save water and irrigate our fields properly. If we take some examples, the very best example is sprinkler irrigation. If we talk about sprinkler irrigation, what is sprinkler irrigation? In this type of method of irrigation, the sprinklers are set up in the field and the fields are being irrigated through sprinklers. Okay, so when these sprinklers work, the water is sprinkled throughout the field in the best possible way without even wasting a drop of water. So it is a very best way of irrigation, and through this type of irrigation we can conserve the water in a good way. And the other thing is that we should use dip irrigation. What is dip irrigation? In dip irrigation, we water plant by plant. Instead of using the running water into the fields, we use to water the plants in plant by plant. Means one plant is watered at a time instead of leaving the water to run throughout the field. Okay. The other thing is water harvesting system. Okay, water harvesting system. What is water harvesting system? This is a very important weapon for our economy, through which we can very easily conserve the water. What type of water? Yes, the rainwater. The rainwater can easily be harvested. It can easily be conserved through the rainwater harvesting system. Now in detail we are going to study about this topic. It's a very important topic, and in our exams it is basically asked that what do you understand by the rainwater harvesting system? Rain water harvesting system. Basically in Gujarat and Rajasthan, this system is very useful and very prominent. This is a house and this is a rooftop. This is a rooftop and this is the water outlet. This is the underground constructed well. Okay, and this water outlet is connected directly to the well. Now, when the rainwater occurs, it gets collected on the rooftop, and on the rooftop you can see a water outlet. From here you can tell it about water inlet, and there is outlet. So water inlet and outlet is connected, water pipe is connected. It is a PVC pipe. Okay, it's a PVC pipe which is connected from the roof, and through this it is connected to a well which is digged and constructed underground. Okay, so whenever the rain occurs, the water gets collected on this rooftop, and through this PVC pipe this water is drained from the rooftop and it is collected in the well which is constructed underground. Okay, this well is constructed underground and the water gets collected into the well. Now this water in the well gets restored. Okay, this water in the well gets restored, and the house or the house members can use this water for their further purposes, like for washing clothes, for taking bath, for washing dishes, for feeding animals. Okay, so this water can be used for many other purposes, not only for this, but they can use it for watering the plants and fields also. So this is what is water harvesting system. This is how you can conserve the waters in the rain period. Now after this, one more important thing comes is kunds. Guls and kunds. Kunds. Okay, what are these kunds? Suppose if you have visited the ancient time temples, if you make a visit to the ancient time temples, what you see over there is a cemented kund. Okay, there is a cemented kund in the middle of the temple. Now what was this purpose, or actually what was the purpose or motive of making this kund? The main motive of making this kund was to collect the rain water in the rainy season, so that when in the rainy season the water gets collected in this kund, the nearby people or the local people can use this water for satisfying their various needs. Okay, so these are some of the conservation of this water resources, how you can conserve these water resources. Soil conservation I have already done. Now we are coming to the last part of our today's lecture, is land resources, land conservation. Okay, how can you conserve the land? Number one, avoid over mining. Avoid over mining. Second, avoid over grazing. Third, practice modern methods of agriculture. Increase area under forest. Proper segregation of waste and its disposal. Okay, so these are some of the methods through which we can practice, or through which we can do our land conservation. So one by one we are going to take up each of the point. The first point is avoid over mining. I told you that anything which is done within the limits is all right, but anything taken beyond the limits is just not correct, or just not okay for neither for us nor for our environment. So mining activities done within the limits, within the foundations of the environment, they are beneficial to us. But if these mining activities are carried out beyond the limits, so these over mining activities can cause depletion in the quality of the land, and once the land quality is decreased, then in that case the land conservation methods or the land conservation techniques fails. And I've already told you that the land is our asset and it is fixed. The supply of the land is fixed. It can neither be increased or nor be decreased. So, and the population is continuously increasing day by day, imposing a tremendous pressure on the land. So we need to conserve the land in a best possible manner by avoiding the over mining activities. Now we come to the second point, is avoid overgrazing. Now the area under the cultivation of crops is more rather than the area which is there under the grazing activities. So the people who are engaged in animal husbandries, or they are taking their cattle for feeding them in the grazing fields, they are making the cattle graze on the same field again and again for the several years. By doing such kind of thing, the land quality deteriorates, and if the land quality deteriorates, then the land conservation cannot be approved, or the land conservation cannot be enhanced. So in order to enhance the land conservation, we need to avoid overgrazing facilities. The third one is practice modern methods of agriculture. The methods of agriculture has been categorized in two parts, the traditional methods and the modern methods. By using the modern methods of techniques for agriculture, maintains the land quality in a best possible manner. So we need to use the modern methods of techniques if we need to conserve the land. The fourth point is increasing area under forest. Increasing the area under forest means, from the starting of the topic till the end of the topic, I have been repeatedly telling you that forests are the vital players of our ecosystem. They maintain the ecological balance of our ecosystem in the best possible way. So increasing the area under afforestation, whether it is the conservation of land, whether it's the conservation of water, whether it is the conservation of soil, the forests or the trees play a key role and a vital role in improving all these qualities. So increasing area under forest means that you need to plant more and more trees in order to hook up the quality of the land and maintain the land conservation techniques. The last but not the least, proper segregation of waste and its disposal. Before the disposal of the waste needs to be properly segregated. Means the waste should be properly, what are the biomedical waste, what are the household waste, what are the factory based waste, these all waste should be means they should be segregated, and after being segregated they need to be disposed in that particular manner. Like biomedical waste, it should be treated well before being disposed, because it contains the plastic variants also, it contains the tissues also. So these kinds of waste need to be given proper attention. The disposal of the factory waste needs to be given proper attention, because they contain toxic substances, harmful substances which may impose harm to the land quality. So before the disposal of the waste should be properly segregated. Means they should be categorized into various forms so that the proper treatment of the waste is done. Okay, so the proper segregation of waste and its disposal should be carried out. So these are some of the basic points which can be used for the land conservation, and with this we complete our topic today. And I hope you like our classes. you need to stay at home, stay safe. And once I am again repeating again and again that you need to not only see the video, not only to understand the video, you need to take down the notes in your copy also. Because if you are taking down the notes in your copy, that means you can take these notes, you can keep these notes for your future references. So stay home, stay safe, and don't forget to subscribe our channel, Sita Group of Educations. I hope you like our videos. Please press the bell icon so that you can get the notification of the latest videos firstly. And I wish you all the best. Thank you.